Okay, anyways, I need to get a move on with the day. MC standing for multi-connection and 4 standing for 4mm. I've looked up tons of videos to try to see how people do this. Yeah, I don't think I was supposed to do that. So, here we go again. Hey, you guys. Okay, today is awesome. It's March 9th. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. The weather has finally taken a turn and the sun is shining. So today, what are we doing today? Today we are mounting the solar panel. I am checking out my Bluetti portable station manual. And I'm going to be hooking up the solar panel to the power station. The problem I came across 2 days ago. This is the problem. I bought this extension cord off of Amazon so that I could, hook this up to the solar panel. But the issue I was having getting these wires through this box. This is the wire, correct? Right? Our positive and negative go into here. One wire. This is the end of the extension cord so that it plugs into the DC outlet on the Bluetti. It's got this little guy on there too. You can just boop. But anyways, this is sitting on the roof of the van so that when the wires go through the metal roof, they are protected by this little grommet piece. Wires go into here, they go down into the van, they are sealed and protected, and so is the hole in the van. So then I watched a couple YouTube videos and was like, how are people who are using battery banks, power banks, how are they doing that? Well, then I discovered that the MC4 connectors, MC meaning multi-connection and 4 meaning 4mm, they do come off. I've looked up tons of videos to try to see how people do this. This is a MC4 connector kit. Bought it off Amazon. It was like 30 bucks. This is what comes with it. We've got our wire cutters, these little guys to tighten, and a wire stripper. These are multiple MC4 connectors. Comes with 4 of them. That's pretty sweet. So, what my conclusion was, to be able to fit the wire to go through this box, I'm going to have to remove these MC4 connectors, which is possible to do. You just twist here, then you got other little secure things going on, and you just pop it off. I've seen one guy on YouTube, he kind of just gave it a little yank and pull and was able to remove it. I don't know how, because it's quite difficult actually. So anyways, what I need to do is cut these off because I have damaged the wires trying to get them off. So inside here, I have frayed the wires. So I said, you know what? Why don't we just start fresh? And I'm just gonna give them a little snip with my fancy smashy new wire cutters. This is how people are able to get their wires through here. So then it'll go like this. Jabong, jabong. That does mean I also have the wrong cap. Because you can get these on Amazon, they're pretty cheap, that have dual grommets, but one box, so I got one of those. These MC4 connectors are going to be hanging out underneath my solar panel. I'm gonna hold off on stripping these and connecting these on because That would defeat the whole purpose of why I just cut these ones off. We need to install the solar panel first, get these through the correct grommet box, and then add the MC4 connectors. So yeah. There are a few steps that need to happen before the solar panel is fully installed. First, here I am setting up the final two pieces of the homemade roof rack that will support the solar panel itself. I will then be cutting a hole in the roof of the van so that the wires can go through. And then also placing the cap that I just showed you guys. I finally got the dual grommet cap. That'll protect the wires, and then feed those wires through. Add the MC4 connectors on said wires, and then finally hook up the solar panel. Okay, so right now I have this box in place. I have my extension cord, and these are the two cords that are going to be coming out of it. This stuff to glue down the box, and two different size grommets. I have a 1/2 inch grommet and I have a 3/8 inch grommet. Oh, and two different size bits. I think this size will do it. We'll start off small first and then work our way up. Let me make sure this is a safe spot to drill in. We're good. This is the kit that I showed you guys the other day. This is a 12 gauge wire. In order to properly strip your wires, you need a wire stripping tool that also has different sizes on here as well. And again, we're using 12 gauge. So we line it up with our 12 gauge wire. Oh, and strip it off. I'm gonna do a better job at that. I'm a little worried because some of the wires are shorter than the other ones. And this is my first time doing this, so I'm just gonna start over. Make sure all the wires are the same size. Maybe be a little bit more gentler with it this time. Okay, now I'm confident that the wires are all the same size. Just gonna use some silicone to go around the grommet here. In hindsight, I would have waited to do the silicone step right before I secured the cap onto the roof of the van. That way the silicone would have set up without the wires moving around. But I kind of just screwed myself because I have to wait for the silicone to set now, because it just slips right through if I let go of any of the tension. Well, I'm gonna slip these two cords through these little grommets, and maybe that will help with the tension. Maybe I should have stripped them after. Okie dokie. So that just took me a while to figure out what was going on here. I wanted to make sure I had a full understanding of what was going on. So this red wire, is my positive. This black wire is my negative. These are the original MC4 connectors that was on this extension cord that I cut off a couple days ago, as you guys saw. Well, I had placed some new connectors on with the kit that I bought. Something wasn't right. Okay, something was not right. So I had to do a little bit more digging to figure out what was going on. So, positive, negative. These plastic casings have a negative mark or a positive mark so that they are distinguishable between male and female. This black casing is known to be female, and I say casing because that's important. This one is known to be male. Positive casing is male, negative casing is female. The tricky part is what is inside of these casings are the metal connections that are referred to as socket and pin. Now, this would technically be a female connection, the socket, but it has a male casing, and this would technically be a pin, so it is a male connection that goes inside of a female socket. That is why I was so confused. So I have to start over again, cutting these wires, and you guys get to check it out. So hopefully you learned something today, because I learned something today. Okie dokie. Positive, negative charge. It's a good thing that the eye crimp kit comes with multiple MC4 pairs. So the pin goes on the positive. Oops. I don't think I was supposed to go over the plastic. You guys, I swear. It's all a learning process. I am not a professional. Repeat, I am not a professional. Okay, don't go too far this time. Pin in the female casing. Pin in the female casing. Just hand tight for now. Okay. Socket. Nice. Socket in the male casing. You can hear it click when they go inside. Awesome. Take these tools here. Great. Awesome. Now that that's all done, I'm going to seal down this cap with this stuff. Okay, here goes nothing. I did wipe down the area first before applying this. Okay, that feels like it's on there. But they swell. Cool. Okay, so we just set up the solar panel on the top of the roof. We just screwed it in with some screws, and now we're going to check if it actually is pulling in power and if I did the correct MC4 connections. Let's see. 11 watts. 39, 40. Well, it works. Yep. This is the final setup for the solar panel. We installed the solar panel yesterday. You guys have seen this black piece. These are some bolts that came with a solar panel tilt kit, and I didn't end up using the tilting mechanisms. I just started to use the bolts. So that's where those bolts came from. You use an Allen wrench with those. But this setup was also really simple. We dropped the solar panel down into the homemade roof rack that we already had assembled, if you guys remember. We pre-drilled holes onto the side of the plastic of the solar panel and screwed these screws into the solar panel. So it is not going anywhere. It is very secure. I did a little test drive to make sure that it didn't fly off the roof, and it did not. Nothing's rattling. Going really well. You guys have seen the installation of this box down here. I did set the MC4 connectors up correctly. Wonderful. Awesome. We used some black zip ties just so that the wires were not flapping around on the top to secure everything down. But yeah, that is the finished look of the solar panel.